Join Ben Lee, who is the Executive Director of the Special Advisory Council for Myanmar, and he joins us now. Ben, it's really good to get you on. I just want to start off by getting your analysis on the credibility of these elections.
Well, they completely lack credibility. There's no credibility on any basis at all. As we've already heard from Jonathan, there's exceptionally limited territorial reach for the military junta, so they're not in any way inclusive. Major political parties and minority communities have been barred from participating, so they're not free or fair. Democratically elected leaders, President Win Myint, State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi, are languishing in political imprisonment, and the military junta continues to bomb communities. So the purpose of these elections are twofold. One is an attempt at misdirection to draw attention away from the military's continuing atrocities. The second part is an effort to gaslight the international community into giving the military the political legitimization and recognition it so desperately needs.
On that point, do you think countries will recognize this?
I think the countries that we would expect to recognize this result, all of them being characterized by their undemocratic nature, will recognize it. There's no surprises there. But the pressure really needs to be on the rest of the international community. First of all, we need to press the point that any form of recognition of the military junta is an act of complicity in its atrocities. The second part is that there are legitimate efforts to build an inclusive federal democracy emerging from the ground up in Myanmar by ethnic organizations and communities, by minority communities, by civil society, by the national unity government. So the international community should be doubling down its support for these genuine actors.
Yeah, on that, like we talked with Jonathan, the path to stability. What benchmarks must be met before any elections in Myanmar could be considered credible and we could get a path to stability?
Well, look, there are well-established international benchmarks for what a credible election involves. But the UN Security Council, ASEAN, the UN Secretary General have been clear for the last 5 years in that the military needs to stop its violence. It needs to release political prisoners. There needs to be proper engagement and dialogue with legitimate actors. But I think it's really important to look back 5 years and say Myanmar was on the path to democratic opening. And it was junta leader Min Aung Hlaing who completely derailed that with his coup attempt. And for the last 5 years now, he has directed the Myanmar war machine against the people. Really, his name is a byword for atrocities. So the idea that he in any way is a nascent democrat or some form of opening toward a new path in Myanmar is beyond preposterous.
All right, Ben Lee, really appreciate you taking us through that. Ben Lee, the Executive Director of the Special Advisory Council for Myanmar. Of course, a lot to